Alejandro Yanes Fuentes, a resistance gang member, and Christian Emmanuel Joshua were ordered to be detained at the Eastern Correctional Rehabilitation Center. As at Wednesday, police arrested 2,458 people under the state of emergency and a total of 146 guns and 1,819 rounds of assorted ammunition recovered. Those were 6 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at the top of the hour right here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network.
Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
Friday morning, running into your Friday today, the 3rd of October. I mean, yes, it is the 3rd, one to me. That's correct, it's the 3rd, and by all means, it's Friday, getting ready for the weekend. We wish you and yours the very best. Here's hoping it's a successful one. Lots of different harvests happening in and around the country. I know there's harvests in St. Joseph, St. Michael's, and St. Francis. Down Erie, and I'll be heading to see family, Auntie Annie, Uncle Dave, all my cousins, and friends, of course, on Sunday for the harvest. Yeah, it's harvest time, and lots going on in and around the place. So whatever the plan is, be safe, have a great one, and certainly enjoy to the max. Jason Williams signing on. JW in your company until 8 a.m. It is action-packed, so let me go into the front page of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian immediately. Lots of different stories to treat with before we welcome our first guest, Michael Anisette, who's stepping in to give us the labor perspective as we hear from Michael and his budget wish list. Up to now, we haven't heard if indeed the day is Monday, and I doubt it is at this point in time. Probably it's going to be pushed back later on in October, but it's in October for sure. So kudos and congratulations to the TTPS, doing some great work in the Southland over the last couple of days. So much so, a $314 million drug haul. Everything from high grade weed to cocaine to the works. Yes, look at how much drugs there. One was in a car. One guy was moving in a car by himself, so they hold on to him. And then the other set of drugs was found in a bushy area in the Southland. And again, this is a massive haul. I just hope that wherever the drugs is stored, for evidence, it remains there untouched. Not like the scenario we saw recently where drugs went missing in a police station. Obviously, I don't want to dampen the victory by bringing it up, but I must. Because again, this calls for accountability and it calls for proper policing. Drugs don't just walk out, it don't smoke itself, it don't use itself. Somebody clearly touch. Yeah, don't do me that. Don't tell me no rat and no cockroach and no bat. And don't do me that. So again, well done with the whole clearly intelligence-driven policing. As Officer Russell mentioned yesterday, it's important for us, the citizens, to give information, to be that assistant really to the officers. They can't be everywhere, they can't do everything, and they really rely lots of times on our information, our voice, so we need to be part of the crime fight. All the citizenry asks for is just accountability and for the officers to do the right thing. I know many wake up, they go out there, put their lives at risk, and they really give their all for country. But the few bad actors who put them in a particular light, I'm calling on the said TTPS to treat with them and to deal with them and to weed them out, because they make it only look real bad, especially when you have massive victories. This is something to celebrate. Yeah, clearly drugs off the street, right? And intelligence driven as mentioned, but there's still that concern that if indeed it comes down to court, you don't want anything to be missing, you don't want any discrepancies, any missteps, and then people walk. We're not going through that. So well done. Big seizure in the Southland, Southwestern Division. Take some applause this morning. Great work. Also, A dad and son killed by cops outside a Canoopia church. I saw that story on the news last evening. Very unfortunate one indeed, and I would imagine investigations are ongoing. Once we get more, we will share with you. I'm looking at the litigation that's ongoing. CPAP back in court. Judge grants leave to 3 contractors to sue state over dismissals. That story is indeed on page 5 also. Well, yeah, so I mean, that development is very much an active one, and we're actually seeing, people used to say, CPAP, people might make their little jokes and stuff back in the day, but I guess we are seeing in real time the impact, and the positive impact, I must say, that CPAP had on the community. I'm looking at certain areas, certain parts of the country, overrun with bush, the place looking kind of away. I understand the government's position where they want to restructure, they want CPAP to be more sustainable, they want people to be, I would imagine, gainfully employed, but the fact is they were doing their due prior to the closure. I guess the issue really is with the contracts and the people on the top level, and that in itself now is going to play out in court, but it's those workers who are caught in between and obviously not working right now, and we're seeing in real time the community places looking kind of overgrown way, certain savanna, I mean, I guess the onus now would be on the corporation, but do they have the capacity, do they have the staff to really take care of certain areas? I mean, we're seeing it. You're literally seeing where the place looking overgrown and a bit rusty and dusty. So it's I always say, a circular argument. Well, let's see. Remember, the minister said there's going to be a 6-month window. I guess that's coming towards the end of the year, and we will have the budget whenever it's read. What is the next move? So I look forward. All right. Sports. Back page. Well, as mentioned yesterday, we went into bat, and it was, I have not to say now. This, I don't know, West Indies, but it's India we playing, It's India we playing, This can't work. We fold for 162. I mean, a foregone conclusion. It doesn't even, I mean, this is clearly, I mean, unless we pull off some real kind of miracle in terms of, I mean, we bowling right now, we took like 1 wicket. They're back in the crease, obviously. So it's 364, the latest here for 4. That's the latest I'm hearing from my producer, Nikisha. 364 for 4. And they're still in the crease. That's India. So we have some runs to chase, and then we still have to not only chase, but get some runs on the board and hope that India, when they come in the second innings, I mean, come on, it's a foregone conclusion. I'll come out here in a boxer shorts next week if we're able to pull this one off. And I know the nation don't really want to see that, and I don't want to put myself through that. So, foregone conclusion. Let's hope for a better showing for the next game. I don't know if it's a concentration issue. I don't know if it's I don't know. I can't even figure it out. If it's more than just something physical, if these men need like a serious mental coach, and I'm sure these facilities are available, but what is causing us to not get over the line when it comes to the test aspect of the game? And I'd love, obviously, at some point to have a deeper conversation with one of the cricket experts to unpack that development. Well, Europa action yesterday. All right, some action there from Dublin in Ireland. This one ended 0-0. So football is in the air. And a quick reminder, it's the month of October. That means in 7 days' time, qualifying action, we come up against Bermuda in what is a must-win for our senior men's team. Coach Dwight York and some of the squad, they will leave on Sunday for camp in Florida. Then they leave Florida on Wednesday en route to Bermuda. And then, of course, the action takes place on the 10th. Very critical game. It's a must-win. Ultimately, it is a must-win. 12 more points on the board. We have lost 1. We had a draw in the first game. So after 2 games, 1 point, 4 games to go. Everyone is critical at this point in time. I mean, we're talking critical. No room for error. And Dwight York himself repeated that yesterday when he had a conversation with our sports desk. So we wish Coach York and the senior team the very, very best. People still calling them Soca Warriors. And let me tell you, you could call it Soca Kings, Calypso Kings, whatever you want to say. People will say Soca Warriors. And whoever Vex lost, that's just the reality. This name had a grown man. honestly. And nothing against Calypso. Calypso is the foundation of all music here in the region, from reggae to soca. Calypso is the king. Calypso is the boss, but I don't know if that's the name for the team. It should have been something I don't know, 868 or, well, it already had Red Steel in the cricket part of it, but I always found Red Steel was a nice name, powerful name, strong. It speaks of, you know, I don't know. This is not a bad name, you know. Don't get me wrong, but it needs to grow on me, to be quite honest. So I will go on saying the men's senior team, and I guess up to the other day, I hear one of my colleagues mention the team as the Soca Warriors still. So people still, you know, it is what it is. People will say that for a long time. It's something that's embedded. It's already ingrained in the fabric of Trinidad and Tobago, and it's going to take probably a generation before people move on from that name to this. I mean, after all, there's a song from Maximus Dan that people sing for years to what. So Maximus can sing the song. I mean, don't know about that. Let's move on. The brief on this Friday morning, Friday the 3rd, as mentioned. So tribute to Latin America dancers from the Chilean dance company performing a tribute to Latin America during the celebration of the 215th anniversary of Chile's independence at Queen's Hall. You see how long these countries are independent? 215 years, you know. These countries out here a long time developing and creating their particular momentum. That's why you see so much passion when it comes to, especially South America, when you see them in certain sporting events, man hand on chest, people singing and crying for the anthem. We still sing the anthem kind of in mute. We murmuring, we want to sing out loud, I don't know, we feeling shame. What's going on? So when you look at these countries that are out here for centuries, where you have generations of people who would know that the grandfather, great-grandfather, and especially in South America, somebody who might have died for the independence of their country. Remember, these countries were forged out of blood and real sacrifice. There was no negotiation with some of these countries, huh? So they have a different kind of metal, and it's hopefully something that we could find. It's clearly not right now. It will have to take place probably with the generations to come, because we're still young. I mean, look at the difference. We what? We know we're close. This is 215 years of independence in Chile. Right there, South America, to the very end of South America, to the south of South America. It's a country I love to visit. I've seen some really beautiful pictures and imagery out of Chile. Closest I've been to there is Argentina some years ago, and Argentina itself, a very interesting place. I didn't really see the whole picture, just Buenos Aires, but a very, very interesting place. There is so much to unlock and explore with South America. Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, Tuco begins their Calypso History Month. I'm seeing Ainsley King performing. I had a chance to talk to Ainsley actually on Monday at Miss Green's funeral. That's Colonel's mom. And Ainsley's doing well. So by all means, we are set, we are ready. Let's get the ball rolling. It is the first Friday in October, and I am set. Let's get into our conversation with Michael Anisette, budget, labor. A deep dive up next, right here on The Morning Brew.
Ladies, Stay Free is now carefree with the same trusted protection. Available nationwide in overnight maxi, ultra thin super with wings, and ultra thin regular wingless. Enjoy up to 100% protection, instant absorption, and 8-hour odor control. Day or night. Feel fearless. Get yours today.
Ready to discover the tastiest spots in Trinidad and Tobago? Restaurant Week is here. From September 26th to October 5th with 100 participating restaurants across Trinidad and Tobago. We've got culinary experiences for every craving without draining your wallet, with prices starting at just 175 TT dollars, all taxes included. Don't miss out. Head to our website and social media pages to explore menus and plan all your food adventures. Come for the food. Stay for the flavor.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Deva Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon. Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2 Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
My name is Kyron Pollard, and I approve this message.
World-renowned cricketer Kyron Pollard.
I've been playing cricket for most of my life, and I don't know what it feels like to wake up and not be sore. If Omega XL works for me, it will work for you.
Don't let pain stop you from living your life. Chronic inflammation equals pain and disease. Reduce inflammation, reduce pain.
Omega XL can empower you to keep doing what you love. Don't let joint discomfort hold you back.
Live long, stay strong with the XL brand.
Visit your local pharmacy or health food store today.
General Secretary of NATUC and, of course, labor leader, we could safely say, a man who really is passionate about employees and their rights. Michael Anisette, he joins me. I want to welcome Comrade Anisette. A very important discussion ahead. Budget wish list 2025-2026 and just generally concerns of workers that you represent and the wider population. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, pleasant morning and blessings to Trinidad and Tobago. Always a pleasure to be here.
Indeed. You know, the labor movement played a very integral role in getting the government into its position. I know that lots of conversations are happening behind the scenes to ensure that some of the promises, the commitment made on the campaign trail will be adhered to. Where are we in terms of that momentum? Do you anticipate the budget will be a labor-friendly budget, this 2025-2026 budget?
Yeah. I would prefer to say the budget must have fiscal space that is rooted in a people-centered budget. You know, because labor connotates all kinds of things. But if we say people-centered budget, it covers the vulnerable in the society, which is critical because we must have a social net to address those real social issues that affect the single parent, those workers who are sent home, right, who are there languishing. So we hope that the fiscal space in the budget will realize those realities and, more importantly, address the issue of government wages.
Does the current
across the board?
But do you think the current economic climate, the current economic makeup, because many economists are speaking towards a kind of downward trend, is there space to maneuver in the current economic reality?
No, you see, we in labor, all right, we disagree with those economists that live in glass houses and do not understand the real economic issues that face in the population. And I would like to make this fundamental point. The budget is not a mathematical formula. It is not about only investors. It is not just a figure, all right, revenue and expenditure. A budget is about people. Without people, you can't have a budget, and without people, you can't have a society. And without workers, you can't have productivity and develop your economy. And therefore, if you take away that ability for workers to have fair wages, just wages, right, you create a problem within the society where we will live to regret. And therefore, we believe that the pillar of any budget must be people-centered one. It must be job-led and wage-led, meaning without jobs, okay, you cannot grow an economy. You could invest in how much money you want, but if people are not having sustainable jobs, if people are not having proper wages, fair wages, decent wages, your economy is going to go down economic precipice.
Well, Comrade Anisat, you mentioned the budget must be people-centered, but the reality is we are going into a budget on the heels of layoffs, restructuring, as it were, with certain programs that are indeed impacting low-income jobs. You were very vocal about it. I don't know what happened on the back end. If probably people. I mean, you were very frank and open about what you were seeing, and it almost seemed like it had you in dismay, as it were. What's the conversation like since, and is that restructuring program you anticipate part of this budget presentation coming up?
Well, here what is my view, and I will articulate it, and I would have taken a lot of flag from a lot of people from this statement.
Because when you made the statement, I wonder what was happening on the back end, because I know,
that I made, right? But let the truth be told, and the truth will always be the truth. And while there were all kinds of issues within that program, and I make no apologies for it, let us deal with that. All right, because you have to deal with that. We know what we're talking about. Certain gangs getting ghost gangs and a series of things, but there's a way to deal with it. We in the National Trade Union Center, our view continues to be that in those kinds of circumstances, you must have that social dialogue. You must have that tripartite approach where we sit down as a people, as a society, and determine how do we move forward. I do not share the view, with the greatest respect, that that is a decision for the minister to make. That is a decision for the prime minister alone to make. Or that's a decision for the cabinet alone to make. It impacts people. It impacts your society in a very fundamental way. And I'm therefore the collaboration and the people's approach and the tripartite approach and social dialogue must be part of the new economic model that speaks to, hey, when Trinidad have a problem, it's a societal problem, and therefore the stakeholders must be involved in the decision-making process, like I have witnessed in Singapore.
Going back to what you mentioned in terms of people-centered.
Yeah.
That people-centered ethos and approach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Currently, what's the mood within the organization, the employees, the different people that you represent? Even your observation when you, as a citizen, move around the place, the malls, the grocery, the market, what people telling you? Because people come up to you and they give you feedback.
Yes, all right. Let me first deal with something that is dear and fundamental to my heart, and it has to do with the dock workers. We are still waiting for the resolution of the 12% wage agreement that we would have negotiated under the People's Partnership government in 2015 that was kicked out of the economic window by the Rowley-led regime. That is still outstanding, and I have to make that fundamental point. And there is a
10 years ago, you know?
Dock workers are working on salaries which is 10 years ago, and as I speak to you, because there were negotiations in Point Lisas, there are Point Lisas workers who are doing the same job as dock workers in Port of Spain, and they are getting 34 percentage points more wages for doing the same job. That is unacceptable to anybody, and unacceptable to me as the president of Seamen's Union and also the general secretary of NATO. But having said so, there is a commitment to address the 10% that was made on the platform. And we believe in the National Trade Union that is the right direction. And we hope that the physical space, as I said, and the logistics as to how we move forward on that particular issue will be articulated clearly in the budget, so that there would be a level of comfort, because there's a lot of questions. People are asking me, I cannot answer because I'm not the Minister of Finance, I'm not part of the process. But I have a faith that that will be delivered So then I'm thinking positive that the government will not renege, and based on the statement that the Minister of Finance said and some of the discussions and discourse that I've been having, I anticipate that we will be able to breathe again.
What's the current work culture at the port? Is it still that work to rule, you're moving at your particular pace? Because I remember, men, obviously, to facilitate the demand and the capacity and to facilitate businesses and people bringing in their produce and stocks from overseas, people had to sometimes go beyond the boundary. They were told to just stay within your lane. And I know sometimes because of the go slow and the bureaucracy, sad to say, but I've had experience where you have to sometimes, or you see people having to pass an envelope, grease a wheel to ensure that you can move to the front of the class. Is that culture still something that's there? And did that culture even come about because of sometimes this lack of proper compensation for rightful delivery of services, your work, your God-given work and ability, the men going out there every day, and women too? Talk to me about that particular culture within the space, the work culture.
All right, the port work culture, unknown to people, is very excellent. And I publicly praise the port workers. Because the general public do not understand the infrastructure that is falling down, that port workers have to face on an everyday basis. And they come out and give the 100.
Shetland still in the same condition like it was years ago?
Yeah, there's a level of improvement because they went and fixed some roofs and etc. But there's still need for improvement.
Okay, good.
All right, okay, but I'm having said that I don't know who will take some money to get to the front. But that is not the general culture of port workers.
Well, businessmen tend to sometimes, if they want to get their stock or they need to get their stuff inspected, I've seen where...
Inspected, yeah. That is customs and not port workers.
No, well, sometimes, so I'm talking here the guys who deal with, bringing your stuff from the back to get it to the... You represent those people too?
Yes.
Yeah, and I've seen sometimes where, people waiting for a long time and, to kind of speed up the transaction, you'll see a man pull square. Now, I'm not saying or suggesting it's right or wrong. That's not my judgment there, but I wonder if these things happen because of the lack of proper compensation, that it breeds this kind of back-end transaction.
No. You see, like every society or every family, you will get one or two bad seeds. But that is not the general culture. And that's the point that I want to make.
And I'm glad to know.
And then therefore, those who do that is unfortunate. They paint a bad picture because it's something that Michael and said, as the president of Seaman Waterfront Workers Trade Union, would not encourage.
Okay.
All right, and then therefore, but we have to look at the bureaucracy too. You see, bureaucracy breeds that kind of culture. Anywhere you go, licensing authority, anything. And I think that is the conversation that we must have as a people.
Important
How do we break down that bureaucracy so that we could have the transformation and the transition that if I go to the port to licensing authority, I don't have to stay hours or take a day to get a license.
ELP to get to the front of the line.
Oh, right. And that is what I believe we must have the conversation on. And we do like they say in Singapore, if you pay people peanuts, they will be monkeys. But if you pay them proper wages, they will work properly. But if they do anything wrong, you will deal with them effectively.
Comrade Annie said, I want us to, after the budget is delivered, or even if we could probably get another pre-budget conversation, let's do that after Runaway Now to get our next conversation. But again, I want to thank you for the perspective, for the transparency, for being vocal about some of the issues. And let's see if indeed, as you mentioned, this budget is going to be people-centered. There's going to be that fiscal space. I was taking some notes, and I hope and anticipate that the workers, yourself, who represent the men and women who really put in the movers and shakers, who move the needle, that there is some space for them to grow and to breathe and to be part of the economic process here in Trinidad and Tobago. Comrade Anisette, sincere thanks as always.
My pleasure, always, brother.
Always,
My pleasure.
always. Let's come back and we get some details from the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Their conference, general conference, is happening this weekend. Full details.
Period nights don't have to look like this. Move less, wake up to change. So change for a real night's sleep with Always Overnight. Its 3 times protection system absorbs, locks the fluid, and keeps it away from your skin. For protected nights without leaks. Always.
Richmond Park for the home that is uniquely you. Choose your own contemporary design, including 2-story homes that suits your lifestyle. Enjoy family walks in our pet-friendly spacious community with scenic views of the Northern Range. Choose your own parcel of land and create your own dream home, including fixtures, fittings, and aesthetics that define who you are. Richmond Park, where home isn't just a place, it's a feeling. Madras Road, Canopia, Airport, and shopping centers nearby. Call 355-7703.
Join Pastor Gino Jennings for our second Trinidad and Tobago Holy Convocation at the Centerpoint Mall, Centrum Auditorium, 325 Ramsaran Street, Chaguanas, Trinidad. Services are Saturday, October 11th at 6 p.m. and Sunday, October 12th at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Again, Centerpoint Mall, 325 Ramsaran Street, Chaguanas, Trinidad. Saturday, October 11th at 6 p.m. and Sunday, October 12th at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. For information, call 267-989-9189.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order. Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Get a loan at Bremont. The process is simple. Fast and efficient approvals. Receive funds within 24 hours once approved. And no penalty for early repayment. Located at 4 Gallo Street, Woodbrook. Remember, we like to lend.
You know, when someone steps into a room and they call me Scooby, you know that's foundation right there. My schoolmate, Old Belmont boys, well, now we got upgraded to college. It's now St. Francis College, but indeed, from back in the school day, Christopher T. Danzel, I haven't seen Christopher for quite a while. Welcome to the program. You are now the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
That is correct.
Congratulations, my friend.
Here. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, man. So, conference is happening. I'm seeing here from the 5th to the 6th. That is starting
Saturday.
Yes. Yes. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Give me some details, because I know normally there would always be that collaboration with CNC3. You know, some of your representatives will come in to give us details. I know there's a feed that you'll tap into. Is it in the U.S. or you'll do your own local?
It's in the U.S.
Right. So,
yes.
so you're kind of tapping into that feed.
Correct.
And spreading the word.
Yeah.
With your fellow parishioners. Give me some details. When does it start? How do we participate?
So General Conference is one of those things that happen twice a year. Mm-hmm. It happens in April and coming up in October. It's an opportunity for members of the church and the general public to be able to hear from the leaders of the church, inspired words, conversations on faith, on love, on respect, on patience. So this weekend is happening. There are sessions from 12 to 2. There are 3 sessions on Saturday, and then there's 2 sessions on Sunday. And that Sunday session is being broadcast here on
CNC3. Because I'm not going to say, I know every year we collaborate, with the church, and yet again, Sunday as the day for the broadcast. What timing Sunday's broadcast?
12 to 2 and 4 to 6.
And that's all live?
That is correct.
We basically tapping into your feed?
Correct.
Wow, this is a big deal.
And it's live throughout the world, so everyone's seen it live.
In terms of the church itself, how many, I don't know if you have an actual number or ballpark figures to how many members make up the church in Trinidad, and in terms of a house of worship, where you're located?
So we have just over 3,200 members throughout Trinidad and Tobago. We currently have 8 congregations: San Fernando, Couva, Chaguanas, Port of Spain, Curep, Arima, Sangre Grande, and Tobago.
Okay, strategic.
So, I guess, so years ago, when missionaries came into Trinidad and Tobago to preach and to proselyte, wherever they taught the gospel and individuals, accepted the gospel, where there was a concentrated amount of members, we will look to, put a building there so that they can congregate and meet. And it just so happened that happened in, the popular...
The hubs.
Yeah. So...
Yeah. Your role as president, Christopher, what does it entail?
So my responsibility basically is to oversee the administrative and spiritual growth of the members in Trinidad and Tobago. Whatever, I guess, teachings or administrative responsibilities I oversee. I don't do it all myself, obviously, because there's a lot to do, but I'm just there to be that example, per se, to be that spiritual leader for the members here in the way that I care about myself, in the way, in my conversations, and yeah.
I mean, you've always had that presence, from since school days.
Oh, and thanks, I appreciate it.
No, of course, and I'm really happy to see you grow into your role. Your administrative position, does it also entail you preaching to the faithful? Do you also get involved on that level as teaching the word and stuff?
Of course. Usually whenever, so I live in, where I live is in Santa Cruz. So my home congregation or home branch is Port of Spain.
Okay.
But a lot of times I travel to the various units, and more often than not when I do, I'm usually asked to, say a few words and whatnot. So, usually I need to be prepared whenever I do travel to have a message to share. And not only that, when I go to the various congregations, there are members who would, reach out, presidents, could you give some advice on this or that? And I'm able to share from my own experience or, pull in from the scriptures.
Indeed. What's the website for those looking on? Is there a place? I know obviously CNC3 will be carrying some of the activities on Sunday, but for the Saturday conference, for those who want to tap into the stream, where does one go to be part of the global audience?
So the church's website is The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, full name. And you can also view it on the church's YouTube page.
Indeed. The headquarters for the church is where exactly?
In Utah, Salt Lake.
Salt Lake. And I know there is like a spiritual head of the church.
Yes.
What's his exact title?
So he is the president or the prophet.
Prophet, yes.
We consider him the prophet. I won't say current because he passed away quite recently. President Russell M. Nelson.
Oh, yes.
He turned 101.
Because I remember, one of your colleagues would have been here with me last year and year before, was made mention of, so he actually passed away?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Quite recently. And, so some of the questions people may have is, okay, well, if the prophet is dead, then who is the next prophet? And I'll often share with individuals, the general or the highest leadership in the church it's called the first presidency. That's the prophet and his 2 counselors. And the second highest is the quorum of the 12 apostles. So that's 12 men. So basically there's 15 men who are leading the church. When the prophet passes away or when one individual dies, there's another individual who is then called to fill that position. But in the case of a prophet, when the prophet passes away, the next senior apostle is called to be that prophet. So we basically know who the prophet is going to be. And I love that this is the way Heavenly Father wants his church to be run, because, you can't come in with the intent to say, I want to shoot my way to the top. I want to, lobby and get people on my side. It's a matter of seniority.
Yeah, understood. President Danzel, I want to ask you in terms of service on the local front in Trinidad and Tobago, the different areas you would have mentioned, the Port of Spain, Chaguanas. What days you all normally hold service, and how long is the service?
Sundays at 9. 9 o'clock on 9 to 11, so it's 2 hours. And yeah, that's throughout most of the units. There's only one unit that starts about an hour and a half after at 10:30. But at any given time, on Sunday at 9 o'clock, you can visit our congregation and be edified.
Well said. As we look to wrap things up, President, again, let's get some more details. You could talk direct to audience concerning General Conference this weekend. Go right ahead.
So, for me personally, General Conference is a time for us to be edified and to be enlightened. I know for what I do personally is whenever I go to General Conference, I go with a question. A lot of times we have a decision to make, or we have a direction we need to take in our lives. We go to General Conference with those questions, and more often than not, those questions are answered. My encouragement to Trinidad and Tobago, you can't have too much spirituality in your life. So, make the effort, take the time if you want to grow your faith in Christ, if you want to become a better disciple of Jesus Christ. Tune in to General Conference on the website, church's website, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and on the church's YouTube page, and right here on CNC3 on Sunday.
Well, President, all the best.
Good to see you, man.
And another, from one Belmont man to another Belmont man to another Belmont man. You remember Amanda Linglang?
Hey. The reunion?
Yes, it is, clearly. So, with that being said, it's going to be a great success. All the best as always, and great to see you after all these years.
You too, my brother.
Indeed. Up next, Maple and Mass. The Canadian High Commission, the ambassador, the High Commissioner, matter of fact, joins me to give some intimate details for a great celebration happening tomorrow. Maple and Mass. Details after the break.
Let the divine lights of the Dias bring victory over darkness into your life. Happy Diwali to all. A message from Kaleidoscope Paints Limited.
With God, comfort can replace pain. Peace can replace turmoil. Hope can replace sorrow. God loves you. God hears you. God speaks to you in your thoughts, in your heart, and through living prophets. Come, hear the words God has for you.
The detergent smells nice while washing, but when you use the new Downy Intense fabric softener, with its new multi-capsule fragrance, it releases an intense scent that lasts twice as long. With the new Downy Intense, you'll enjoy a rich and delightful fragrance that keeps you feeling fresh 24/7.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
His Excellency Michael Callan joins me, the High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, he represents Canada, the land of the maple leaf, hence maple and mass. Yes. Your Excellency, welcome.
Well, thanks so much, Jason. Lovely to be here.
Indeed, I'm looking at this massive engagement. I'm seeing the likes of Euphoric. I'm seeing Patrick the Hype Man. I'm seeing, food. The full works. Maple and mass. I love it. What's going on here?
Well, let me tell you about it, because there is a lot on offer, and that's part of the idea. Is we want to do something different this year. So we're celebrating Canada's National Day, but in a way that embraces the Trini spirit.
Yeah.
So, and shortly after I arrived, I heard a lot of people saying, where's Canada, and how come I wasn't invited to Canada Day last year? A lot of that. This year, everybody's invited. We want to adopt a different spirit, to open our arms, open the doors, and bring people in and celebrate together, because we have a lot to celebrate about.
Well, so I'm seeing, is it correct I'm seeing there's a mixture of pan here and some suka with the likes of Cass?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Cass will be there. We've got the Nutrient Silver Stars to highlight our pan performances. We have the Maple Leaf International School. They've got their pan band out as well.
Fantastic.
Cass will be there, as you say. We've also got a Canadian Indigenous performer coming from Canada to add a little bit of that to that fusion, to bring both of our cultures together.
Fantastic. That's striking the balance, as it will. What's the protocol in terms of tickets? Is this a open to everyone kind of event?
When I say wide open, I mean it wide open, okay. So that everybody's invited, because there's a lot of friendship, a lot of spirit, a lot of energy, a lot of positivity between both of our countries, and we want to embrace that and give people a chance to connect in with us. So Island e-tickets, anybody can go out right now and join us, and I hope they do.
And your location for the jamboree?
We'll be at Green Meadows out in Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah, that's
nice.
it. Again, we're trying to change it up a little bit, take a breath, take a step back from downtown Port of Spain, and create an atmosphere where everyone feels welcome.
The name itself is such a catchy name. Who came up with that, Maple and Mass?
We've got a pretty amazing team back at the High Commission, and some people, some of our Trini colleagues have been working with us for decades, and so they know the tones that strike a chord and strike a nerve with both our cultures, and that's what brought it about.
If there's one thing I must say, that relationship between Canada, Trinidad and Tobago and Canada, it's been really strong. It's been one where even via going there now, the process is so much easier.
Sure.
I myself would have utilized that option last year, just doing the form online. I've received a piece of paper, printed out. When I was going through the border, the lady didn't even ask for it.
Sure.
Probably everything was already in the system.
Sure.
And I'm saying to myself, this is what we're talking about, and the relationships with some of our workers going to in the agricultural sector with the apples and all that. These relationships continue.
Sure. Well,
yeah.
No, I'm glad you raised the point, because it's a difficult world right now, and there's more and more tension seeping in. But despite all of that noise and that turbulence, Trinis are welcome in Canada, and they're really embraced in Canada. And whether as tourists, whether as visitors, in any form. And we have a lot of Canadians coming this way as well. So the to and fro between our two countries is strong and continues.
High Commissioner, you mentioned the turbulent times. Any perspective on the current geopolitical climate? I guess we'll get back to the amazing show, and I know we're going to keep it light this morning, but it would be remiss of me not to ask as to your perspective. We're looking at what's playing out, and between all that, we still maintain our relationship. But how concerned are you right now with some of the developments in the South Caribbean Sea?
I'm concerned about our immediate region, but around the world as well. Some of the fundamentals of the international system are shifting, are changing. And I'm also glad you raised that, because there is a connection between Maple and Mass and the geopolitical climate that we're in. And it's, in those shifting times that we're in now, when there's increasing uncertainty and instability, it's a reminder that we need to reinvest and redouble our efforts with our trusted friends and with our close partners, and cement those relationships that are dear to our hearts and dear to our national interests. So there's no coincidence that it's happening this year. It's a way to counterbalance the destabilizing effects of the geopolitics at the moment.
Indeed, well said. So this, you said, Maple and Mass is in celebration of your, what do you call it, Canada Day?
We do, yeah.
So that's like your independence, as it were, kind of like, what is Canada Day really? For those looking on and never had a part to experience it, or how do Canadians celebrate Canada Day in Canada?
I've got to say, Canada Day is July 1st, so we bumped it out into fall to give us more time to build the kind of celebration that we're looking forward to tomorrow. And so it's a day to mark our Confederation. And we're taking that spirit from July 1st and just carrying it all the way through to the fall now. And we mentioned Kes joining us, but Freetown Collective will also be with us as well. And
fantastic.
I don't know if you noticed, but they dropped a new track just yesterday as well, and it's pretty fierce if I can say so. So I'm hoping to take their energy and Kes's energy, and we've really reached out to these wonderful artists because they also share in that message of positivity and connection. And
let me tell you, from my travels, because I also do lots of work within the cultural space, I can safely say that Canada is one of the biggest markets, definitely for sure the biggest street festival when we consider Lake Shore and what was, well, back then Caribana, now it's a new name. The numbers you see, the kind of injection it brings to that Toronto area. And we have carnivals popping up all over. So Montreal, there's a little carnival. In Calgary, of all places, on the West Coast, Alberta.
So I've just recently learned.
Right, yeah, so there is a carnival there too. So Canada, in terms of embracing the Trinidad and Tobago culture, the Caribbean culture on a whole, it's been a tremendous journey, and lots of our artists are so popular. I mean, Kes he's a mainstay in Canada.
He's a force.
So I think that was a good look to bring in Kes. Of course, Freetown. You say you mentioned a Canadian performer. What are they going to do exactly? Like a traditional dance or something?
Yeah, traditional indigenous hoop dances is what it's called. And,
nice.
And it'll be something unique, something special that again will bring allow us to fuse our cultures together, and you're right that carnival spirit in Canada is alive and growing. You mentioned Caribana. Over, it's the largest carnival celebration in North America.
In North America, yeah.
Over 3 million people come out to it, and just 2 weeks ago I was back in Toronto for the Trinbago Toronto Festival. That's just a day, not just for the Caribbean, but for Trinidad and Tobago itself to celebrate its culture and our connection. So over 3 days, over 50,000 people came out to this event. It was really special to be at.
Your Excellency, I want to ask you, in terms of travel throughout the year, when usually will be that peak time for folks, Trinbagonians, heading across to Canada?
We have a pretty steady flow, throughout the year going to Canada. From Canada to coming here, it's less steady, and you'll know why, because the people run away from the winter a little bit and they take a break. So during the winter months, we have a higher influx of people coming from Canada. And if people are able to join us at Maple and Mass, they might get a chance to come visit as well, because Air Canada will be giving away a few direct flights from Port of Spain to Toronto as well. So we're excited about that.
I remember meeting you when Air Canada came in for the inaugural flight. I think you were there. You gave a speech, and that was a welcome facility, because obviously more flights will mean more travel, more commerce, more business, more opportunities.
That's it. And Air Canada does four times a week direct to Toronto. Caribbean Airways 11 times per week. The to and fro is pretty extreme.
Well, as we wrap things up, Your Excellency, I'll let you talk direct to camera as to why we need to be in Santa Cruz tomorrow for the Maple and Mass. It's all yours.
Well, this is something different. You're invited. We want you to come and connect in with us. We want to party together. We want to celebrate together. We want to enjoy the special and unique relationship that we both deserve. I think it was a wise man once said that we deserve a party, and in these times there could be no more appropriate time to do it. So come early. We have lots of acts throughout the night, food, drink, and some good spirit.
And tickets are on Island E.
Island E. That's right.
That's right. Maple and Mass. Let's make it a day tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. Should I wear red? Should I guess. We'll figure it out. Just come looking real good. All right. Hey, guys, it's a great first hour. That's the conclusion there. And we're going to get ready for the 7 a.m. news update. Much more happening after 7. See you soon.
ho, ho! Start the season sweet with Jimmy Abood's annual Christmas and October sale. Get up to 60% off on curtains, sheet sets, floor mats, upholstery fabric, and more. Shop now at the last big sale of the year.
Do you think all dishwashing soaps are the same? With some, they require more effort, and they don't wash as much. Try Dawn and discover its grease cleaning power. Dawn removes stuff grease easier and faster than others. Additionally, it foam lasts 50% more. With Dawn, you use less product to clean more dishes and save with every wash. Dawn, triple grease cleaning power.
With God, comfort can replace pain. Peace can replace turmoil. Hope can replace sorrow. God loves you. God hears you. God speaks to you in your thoughts, in your heart, and through living prophets. Come, hear the words God has for you.
Get the best for less this Diwali at Southern Food Basket. Wax Diaz, 1 dozen, $26.95. Royalty coconut oil, 700 ml, $17.95. Royalty Diwali oil, 2 liters, $54.95. Anchor Cow Brand Ghee, 2 pounds, $119.95. Moo low fat evaporated milk, 250 ml, 4 for $19.95. Dairy Champ condensed milk, 1 kg, $18.95. Nabisco cream of wheat, 340 grams, $37.95. Offers available while stocks last.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. Big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop, Sumitomo, and Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Plaisance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958.
For those who try Omega XL and they say it didn't work, try it again.
Whatever I was using, this Omega is the best. Remember, you deserve the best. Choose Omega XL, a supplement that I can assure you is committed to helping you live a long life and a strong life.
Live long, stay strong
with Omega XL.
Available nationwide. Visit your local pharmacy or health food store today.
Get the story first. Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today. Make sure you have yourself a great investment week by viewing The Boss Report every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. during CNC3's The Morning Brew. You'll get sound financial advice, whether you're a new or experienced investor, when you view The Boss Report. CNC3, covering your world.
Good morning, I'm Doris Polo with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. Residents were left in shock after police killed a father and son in a shootout at a church in Canoopia. Dead are 52-year-old Alvin Barrett and his 28-year-old son Arvind. A female relative and 15-year-old boy have been arrested. Now, police claim the men opened fire on officers entering the compound. But in the aftermath of the incident, residents say they are unsettled by the violence that erupted within their community.
As soon as they break the glass and open the door, there was shots fired, and from the back, and then after they returned fire with a shotgun, and then after other police was there. Shots fired for about 3 minutes.
A month into the new school term, Deputy Commissioner of Police Junior Benjamin says the Police in Schools program has shown progress. Benjamin believes the initiative is curbing violent behavior and improving student discipline. The school-oriented police unit was launched in September, placing officers in and around several schools. It followed a string of troubling incidents, including fights, stabbings, and threats against teachers. Its aim is more than enforcement, but also community policing and student engagement. Benjamin says the results so far are encouraging, but the real test will be long-term behavioral change.
What we are seeing is a reduction in that, and any reduction we are grateful for. We will continue to look at it and to ensure that it is not just about the police officers causing that reduction in the school, but we want to see that being further advanced in terms of the behavior of the students. And therefore, we have the community policing coming in to speak to the students and to do different things to help the behavior of the students.
The Ministry of Education has confirmed that San Fernando West Secondary School went into lockdown on Wednesday following a security threat outside the compound. The ministry says police responded swiftly, detaining one person and seizing a knife. It says the school principal followed established emergency protocols as a precautionary measure, sparked by a suspicious group standing near the school. Students were allowed to leave after police officers arrived on the scene. CNC3 News understands that the young men were waiting to attack two students from the school following fights in the school on Tuesday and Wednesday. Yesterday, parents who went early to pick up their children described the fear and anxiety they felt. They are now calling for police to be assigned to the school, as has been done at other high-risk schools. Greater San Fernando Chamber President Kiran Singh agrees.
I don't know if this school was earmarked for police presence, but it seems that it may be that the Minister of Education has to look at this school as to be put on the list for some police attention, because if this is the case, maybe the neighborhood police or the community police patrols can assist to bring these students back in line to study the books and not warfare.
Those were your 7 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at 8 a.m. on the TBC Radio Network.
Welcome back. Before we get into the second hour, let me tell you the latest out of India. With this, the first test. India now 432 for 5. I think the 5th wicket just fell, and well, with 432 on the board and with our 162, I think they're leading here by 270 runs. So we have to make 270. Well, clearly, there's going to be more because they still have 5 wickets in hand. We made 162 in the first innings. Foregone conclusion, folks. Listen, again, if we pull this one off, I come out Monday in boxer shorts. Remember, I tell you. But that's not going to happen, so you don't have to worry yourself at all right? Let's probably try to recalibrate and get ourselves ready for the second test. Again, I'll always back the West Indies, but clearly there is time for us to have a serious conversation as to how we map the way forward. Yeah? Let's move now into, as always, our health tip for today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
The Daily Health Tip, brought to you by Omega XL, where health is wealth. Imagine if simple daily habits could help turn back the clock on aging. Recent research suggests that combining omega-3 supplements, vitamin D, and regular exercise may do just that. In a study involving over 700 individuals aged 70 and above, participants who took 1 gram of omega-3 fatty acids daily experienced a slowdown in biological aging by 3 to 4 months. But the benefits didn't stop there. Adding 2,000 IU of vitamin D daily and engaging in 30 minutes of exercise 3 times a week amplified these effects. Those who combined all 3 interventions not only slowed their biological aging, but also reduced their risk of pre-frailty by 39% and invasive cancer by 61%. This means more energy, better mobility, and a stronger defense against some of the most serious health risks we face with age. It's not about reversing time, it's about thriving with it. A few simple choices, like adding an omega-3 supplement to your morning routine. Scientific research now proves what many have long believed. How we treat our bodies today shapes how we age tomorrow. With these 3 simple steps, you can redefine aging. It's no longer just about adding years to life, but life to your years. Imagine more clarity in thought, more stability in movement, and less risk of frailty. These aren't dreams of the future, they're choices of the present. Healthy aging isn't about perfection. It's about progress, joy, and the freedom to live with confidence and vitality. Embrace the power of daily wellness. Nourish your body, move your muscles, and step into a future that feels as good as it looks with the XL Health products. Always consult with a healthcare professional before starting any new supplement or exercise regimen. The Daily Health Tip, brought to you by Omega XL, where health is wealth.
Where health is wealth. Let's take the pause. We come back and open the lines. Open forum time, a chance for you to call and be part of the program. See you soon.
Whether you're an athlete, a business professional, or simply someone who values their health, Omega XL can empower you to keep doing what you love. Don't let joint discomfort hold you back.
Live long, stay strong with the XL brand.
Muscle Russell. At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time, or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations, or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center.
With God, comfort can replace pain. Peace can replace turmoil. Hope can replace sorrow. God loves you. God hears you. God speaks to you in your thoughts, in your heart, and through living prophets. Come, hear the words God has for you.
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Let the divine lights of the Dias bring victory over darkness into your life. Happy Diwali to all. A message from Kaleidoscope Paints Limited.
Welcome back. Today, Friday, as mentioned, the 3rd of October, 2025. Let's give you a chance to get in the mix. 627-8658, 624-8721. Inside the second hour, poetry as always, some music. We have Sukri, our young soca champ, coming in, and they get something on pave. Yeah, very, very impactful one as always. Let's head to Chaguanas. Good morning.
Pleasant morning, JW. How is everything?
All is well, my brother. Go right ahead, man.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to see the state that the Western is in right now where the food test is concerned. But I agree with you, maybe they should just be thinking right now to see how long they could go in this food test and then try and regroup and come with a better performance in the second test.
Let me ask you, Shaguanas, you feel it's a mental, because physically we could do it, we have the capacity, you feel it's a mental hurdle, boy? What do you feel it is? The men don't have the patience to just take the time as a test? You'd have to throw away your hand so easy?
Listen, Jason, I made a point in the past, right? And I'm going to talk about it now. You see, we have grown so accustomed to the T20, which is a version of the game, right? Which is a short version of the game. That'll be about between 3 to 4 hours and the game over. That is if it goes so long, right? We have grown so accustomed to that the style of batting, right? The style of batting, right? I believe that they have the physical strength, yes. They have the endurance, yes. But the style of batting, right? Really and truly, it is mental. It is mental. But I believe in time, all of that will will eradicate, right, in time. But what they need to do, right, the confidence aspect is our next thing by itself, because for some reason or the other, West Indies could be playing who? Once they're at home, for some reason or the other, they play better. Yeah, someone said they could be playing who? They could be at what level of strength as for where the selection or the team is concerned, or whatever the case is. They could be without certain players, but they always give a better performance at home. But I'm sorry to see that these two boys, Darren Bravo and Hetmeyer, is not in the team, right? For whatever reason, right? I'm sorry to see, because they are really bright prospects, and I think that the cricketers of today have grown so accustomed that they think I don't want to badmouth anybody, but all they on is money. All on is money. The love of the game for where Test cricket is concerned, it's in there again, Jason. Right? And I think that things need to be introduced, right, in order for we to get past that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Aisha, thank you, man. Yeah, it's really sad, you know. I mean, first up, full for 162, boy. Oh gosh, man! Against India of all teams too. Come on, Tabaki. Let's try again. 624-872-1627-8658. Feel free to touch base. I mean, it's Friday. If you want to keep it light, I mean, that'll be nice. Obviously, we're getting ready for the weekend, so you know, it was as always a action-packed week. And Friday we more kind of do our little recap and take it a little more easy on a Friday. Mover, you're live. Go right ahead.
Hi, Jason. Good morning. Yeah, I want you and your station boy to do an investigation right outside City Gate, why I do have police and why I do have traffic wardens in front City Gate. I want you to do an investigation and you will see exactly what's going on. I'm trying to watch your cricket, but I'm switching channels up and down, right? You have a nice day.
All the best. I mean, listen, I haven't really passed by City Gate for a minute, but I would hope and I would think that's a place, you know, you would put traffic wardens and you'll have officers positioned. I find that to be really bizarre. I'll ask around and see if that's the case. Tabakit, welcome back.
A pleasant morning to you, Mr. Jason Williams.
Yes, Tabakit, good morning to you.
All right, my contribution this morning, I would like to thank you for leaving your house early every morning to give us voice and to bring the news, critical news. You know, sometimes we may not take time off to tell you thanks. And I must say, you're becoming a household name. You're becoming one of my favorite hosts in the morning. I'll tell you why. You're real and you come to the point. But listen to me. If West Indies win, do not forget what you tell us you will do. But in all, I want to thank you for leaving your family home every morning to come here, to be with us, to open up the line. I want to say, dear Mr. Jason Williams, you is doing a wonderful job. Thanks to the management and staff, but you in particular, I like your styling. You are real, and you bring the real issues and the real stories to the people. I thank you. God bless you. Tabakit out and off.
God bless you, Tabakit. You're welcome, and it's really nice and heartwarming to get that kind of feedback. And anytime, Tabakit, you know, there's room for improvement, feel free to call me too and pull them up and give me a little tips as to how to improve the product. So, Tabakit, thank you. And yeah, I have no reason to come out to the boxers on Monday, because it's going to be a miracle if we could pull this one off. So let's see how things go. Diego Martin, good morning.
Good morning, JW.
Hey, Diego, welcome.
I just want to say I hope those people who did not get their old age pension and their grant, I hope they get it this morning. It was sad that the people went back home very disappointed. And I also want to say President Maduro of Venezuela must be having a good laugh the way how our Prime Minister is begging him now to continue that dragon gas deal. He must be laughing his head off. Have a blessed weekend, JW.
All the best, Diego Martin. I mean, you know, I mean, I don't know what President Maduro is doing, but I will tell you, as I mentioned yesterday, Diego, and to those looking on, it's going to take some real diplomatic posturing, and it's going to be a real, that's a deep massage, a real deep massage to kind of ease out all those nuts and the aches so that everybody could have a collective and then sit down on the negotiation table. I think politicians are supposed to be bigger than that and supposed to be able to get past you know, some of the utterances, but again, it's going to take lots on our side and lots on their side, and hopefully with dialogue, I don't see it happening anytime soon, but hopefully with some dialogue, we could get back to a place of normalcy. Let's head to Santa Cruz now. Santa Cruz, good morning.
Good morning, Jay. How are you going this morning?
I good to know Santa Cruz, but
I like your outfit and things like that. It looks like you're ready for some party and things later.
Well, it's Friday. I try to lighten it up, you know?
You're trying to, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the first thing I want to deal with is the whole question of the Salro Santa Cruz from Cangrejal Bridge. If you know Cangrejal Bridge, right up to Hairpin Corner, the bush coming over into the road.
Yeah.
From Cangrejal right up there, and that is the responsibility of the Ministry. It has nothing to do with URPOCPEP. Plus, by the Brand Lara ground, the bush very, very high. I saw men with cutlass and hunting dog like they're going to hunt Guti and Manico and in the bush. Brian Charles Lara ground, but the bush extremely high. People can hide, and that is the regional corporation responsibility. It is not the URPOCPEP.
But Santa Cruz, and they had cricket there, and Lara come out and bat there the other day? It had cricket there like a couple of weeks ago, and Lara actually come out. It was there. I think Lara come out and bat in Santa Cruz self.
Yeah, but listen, man, what I'm saying wrong the ground and thing, the bush high. And when I say high, I mean real high. And on the Sal Road, the bush extremely high. You could take a drive and film it. The grass almost coming across the road, and it is dangerous because you cannot see around the corner as a driver. And more so, like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you have the mist coming down, so it make it more difficult. And the other point I want to make with respect to West Indies cricket,
Santa Cruz?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
The West Indies cricket, the 162. West Indies is now facing a 2-1 defeat because Jadesha now make a century, and it's 400 and change for 5. So West Indies is facing a defeat, and I think they need to learn to bat. The bowlers doing a good job, but the batsmen cannot bat. They need a proper coach. They need a proper batting coach. You cannot put Darren Sammy in charge of coaching when Darren Sammy himself could not have bat. So give the West Indies team a proper coach and let them start to coach the people and them how to bat properly, because the outing simple, caught out, just chucking the bat, resting the bat. You understand me? But most of all, Jay, I want to deal with that Sal Road and the grass and wrong Banlara ground, that high set of bush and thing. We need to deal with that. This is Mr. Santa Cruz signing off. I'll leave the politics for Monday. Thank you, Jay.
All right, Santa Cruz. Let's head to Rio Claro, our final call this morning. And I will check on Saddle and what's happening at the grounds, kind of close to where I live. So, yeah, that's a cause for concern because, you know, we know the Santa Cruz Road, we know that Saddle. And yes, in the night, sometimes miss, fog in the road, bush. That's a cause for, that could create a problem, an accident. Rio, good morning.
Hey, morning, just morning.
Morning, my brother. Welcome.
Yeah, man. So talking about bush, right? Remember a couple of weeks ago, I said it started rain and all on the video with the set of bottle and thing in the canal in Port of Spain, right?
Yeah, by City Gate, yes.
Right. So right in that video, so I watched back the video in the night to run again, right, in the rerun. And I noticed that a tree overshadowing the bottle, but that tree growing up in the drain. So when the Portsmouth here talking about, well, CPEP down and everything, right, that tree, in my experience in cotton trees, that tree looking about at least 2 years old, right? So if you do regular maintenance and things, you clean the bottle, it wouldn't be an issue and things so. And coming back to cricket and all too, right, it's like, since CPL come out, I'm only watching CPL. I overvisit everything else again. You're getting the best players, and you're getting the best West Indies players with the backup from other regions, I think, and it's wonderful cricket. And I don't know sportsman, CPL for me day. And the next thing with Maduro boy, New York Post, either early this week or late last week, and they put out an article saying that them planning decapitation strikes. So we know what's going on there. Everybody dealing with Venezuela, but they're talking about Maduro. So we know what's going on. They tell us.
Easy, Rio. Thanks a lot for touching base, man. So, Rio, I'll have to go back and examine that picture. Rio said between the bottles, the amalgamation and the collection of bottles, floating, just there. Nasty, right? Again, it's a real indictment as to how we behave and how we conduct ourselves, because bottles then just pick up themselves and end up in the drain. Somebody pelted there, right? But Rio's saying that upon deeper investigation through his lens, because clearly he's in that field, the man saw a tree that's growing in the drain. Anybody? Let's take a walk down after now and see if that's the case, because if that's the situation there, that's a cause for concern, and obviously when the place dry, we'll have to call on the corporation to uproot and to get that tree out of the drain. Now the place really, it's a lot of bush all over the place. Bush overgrown, savannas overgrown. Yes, I understand there should be, and I agree, there should be maintenance of your personal space. You know, I think that onus is on the property owner, but beyond that, where an area would have an empty lot or a recreational ground or just the general upkeep of a community, you know, CPEP and others would have dealt with that. Or I guess now it will have to be the corporation, and I don't know if they probably don't have the workload or the capacity, because clearly we are seeing bush growing all over the place. The place looking a kind of way. So let's wait on the budget and hear what's on offer. Clearly, it's not going to happen next week, so probably the week after. We will continue with our pre- and more importantly, post-budget analysis once it's read there in Parliament with our Finance Minister. With that being said, we take a pause, we come back and get into some more housekeeping. Get something and pave, this week in travel, and then later on poetry. Yeah, we have a nice piece this morning for the Poets Corner, and Sucre, your junior soca champion. He joins me live on set for new music. Great second hour ahead. See you soon.
Join Pastor Gino Jennings for our second Trinidad and Tobago Holy Convocation at the Centerpoint Mall, Centrum Auditorium, 325 Ramsaran Street, Chaguanas, Trinidad. Services are Saturday, October 11th at 6 p.m. and Sunday, October 12th at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Again, Centerpoint Mall, 325 Ramsaran Street, Chaguanas, Trinidad. Saturday, October 11th at 6 p.m. and Sunday, October 12th at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. For information, call 267-989-9189.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order.
Victor, why are you still living with bad odors? Instantly refresh your spaces with Febreze. Smell like leftover fried food? Instant freshness. Febreze, your home smelling fresh and clean. Find the limited edition at your favorite store or supermarket.
Tile Depot Diwali sale on now. Stunning floors at dazzling prices. 12 by 12, $750. 17 by 17, $975. 18 by 18, $995. 20 by 20, $15.95. And 22 by 22, only $20. Visit Tile Depot Limited today at Banyu Chase Village. Call 234-4402.
Freedom 106.5 FM in collaboration with Crown Heart Trinidad and Tobago say it's time to be period proud. Let's remove the stigma, shame, and silence around periods. Join us on this national campaign of reshaping the way we think and talk about menstruation. We will break the myths, share the facts, and build a culture of respect and understanding. Catch Period Proud on CNC3 Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5:55 p.m. and on Freedom 106.5 FM on air, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
Twenty-six after 7 on this Friday morning, so we take advice. We will look at the emails, we look at sometimes the comments when we post up, they get something and pave via our social media handles, the Instagram, the Facebook. And based on that, we look at the feedback, and that's where we well, take advice and head to the particular area. So Grandy would have been in focus for the last couple of weeks, and this is the last feature for Sandy Grandy. And again, this basically came from a recommendation from one of our avid listeners, someone who supports the program. So Grandy, again, glad to be in your area, and I'm hoping that the necessary treatment will be given. Here is the latest installment of Get Something and Pave, as mentioned. We head to Sandy Grandy. Enjoy. JW on location here at River Street, literally outside the establishment of Keston Corner. He deals with the coconuts and, of course, the melons and the fruits. But I find myself asking serious questions here in Sandy Grandy. When we look at the condition of River Street, which is a main thoroughfare that takes you to Ojo Road, you can see the problem. It's a stone treatment that clearly needs to be redone, and there needs to be a fresh paving scenario here at River Street. As we come closer, it is uneven, and this is our main thoroughfare. I mean, Sandy Grandy, there's been major work done, and we give thanks for the work, but we ask the powers that be to keep the ball rolling so that River Street could get the treatment. Look at stones uneven, a hazard for the motorists and for those walking on River Street, and further afield. We see to get some tire, collecting water, mosquitoes inside here. Next to some clearly abandoned sugar cane, not sweet at all. This is not sweet. Deep, expansive, and wide. Murky. Oh my goodness. Powers that be. Let's treat with Grandy immediately. We say, get something out. I said, wait. Yeah, so we must do better in Sandy Grandy, and call on the powers that be to get something and pave. And for the fire station in Sandy Grandy, we say get something and paint, get something and power wash. Let's sort that out. Quick update. The hole that we featured. A matter of fact, I'll come back to that. Let me deal with this here first. Let me deal with the hole first. Queen Street, Queen and Charlotte, right by the Belmont taxi stand. We would have featured that about 2 weeks ago. I'm happy to report this morning that it's been fixed, it's sorted out. It's another pave project, another successful pave project. So we always highlight the issue, but when it's dealt with, we come back and we give commendation. So we say thank you to the powers that be for sorting out the Belmont taxi stand. That was an eyesore in the city for months. It's now sorted out. Again, kudos to the Get Something and Pave team for bringing it and getting that issue to the front of the class so they could treat with it. Now, there's an issue that I spoke about 3 weeks ago, and it's still very much an issue in the area. The residents of Rudolph Charles Link Road, there is no relief. A matter of fact, it's getting worse. And they're asking the authorities for some assistance with the branches and trees that's been on the side of the road for, hear this, not 1, but 2 months. A tree fell on a house in the area, causing significant damage on August 7th. And the Port of Spain Corporation cut the branches, and the next day never returned to remove the branches. Don't do me that. You see this? You can imagine what living inside there. It's I'm hearing is all kind of close shave on the corner. People nearly bounce. Don't wait till we get accident. And let me tell you, look at that. You know Guana living inside there, right? You know Guana and rat. They probably have snake inside there, you know. And let's be real. It's rainy season, so rain falling, but let me get some hot sun for a couple of days now, and somebody pelt a old cigarette or something that's going to cause a fire. Don't do me that, man. Now, again, they would have cut the tree to treat with the issue. They rested at the side of the road and never returned to take up the branch. This is 2025. Better than that. We can't be going forward with that kind of mindset. Yeah, so let's treat and deal with that. Whoever is in charge, the powers that be, the corporation, the MP, whoever, let's make it happen and treat with Rudolph Charles Drive in a more meaningful and respectful manner. Better than that. Up next, we get ready for our Poets Corner. But before that, let me remind you, ways and means to contact the team, ways to touch base, make the request. Yes, that's right, TMB at CNC3.co.tt, our email address. You're putting forward a nice paragraph. You come join me on the set, or we can link up on the Zoom line. I'll see you soon. That's right. As it pertains to the social media, Instagram, Facebook, X, very active in the space. So I would suggest you follow to stay on top of all your developments, local, regional, and international. The same is applied to our mobile app, your #1 source for verified breaking news and all your favorite content on demand. Get the mobile app today. Let's move across to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. 108 years of legacy. As always, we keep on moving with the time. I've seen the paper back in the day. I mean, I wasn't even born, but it was a massive paper. That was a gazette. Big sheet. Of course, we downsize, we slim up to the time, and you can enjoy the Guardian too on your desktop, your tablet, or your smartphone when you subscribe and lock into the digital Guardian. Let's move now into our food for thought. If you fell down yesterday, stand up today. Simple, but effective. If you fell down yesterday, you know what you're going to do today? Stand up. That's right. Let's move now and touch base with Jamark, who is giving us the latest via our World Weather Wrap. Jamark, good morning.
Good morning. In today's weather wrap, we head over to the United States, where recent hurricanes swirling in the Atlantic and near the U.S. are a stark reminder that the government shutdown comes in the middle of hurricane season. NOAA weather forecasters and disaster response specialists at FEMA are planning to keep working during the shutdown. But with both agencies already in weakened states, the shutdown adds another layer of complexity. The two services will remain open because they are deemed essential to the protection of lives and property. But employees will still feel the impact as they're doing the work without pay and without an understanding of when the shutdown is going to end. With some local U.S. weather offices short-staffed, a former NOAA administrator worried about weather events happening simultaneously across the country. Hopefully things are resolved soon so that we can have the best possible information for the remainder of the hurricane season. Now let's head over to Bermuda, where the core of Hurricane Imelda passed late on Wednesday night. Conditions deteriorated on the island as Imelda packed 100-mile-per-hour sustained winds in its core. This video shows trees blowing in the strong winds, and the person who took it says she lost power during this storm. The main impacts included fallen trees, blocked roadways, rough seas, power outages for about 18,000 customers, and disruptions at the airport. Now back home, let's take a look at the forecast for today. We can expect another hot and sunny morning with a few showers developing by the afternoon over Trinidad. Now one or two of these showers can develop into a thunderstorm favoring the mid-afternoon period. And while we've seen the heavier showers favor the coastal areas and the northern areas over the past few days, today they may just be a bit further inland. Now that activity should dissipate by the evening to give us a mostly fair night. That's all for today's weather wrap. Back to you.
Jamark, sincere thanks as always. Let's take the pause. We come back much more on the other side.
With God, comfort can replace pain. Peace can replace turmoil. Hope can replace sorrow. God loves you. God hears you. God speaks to you in your thoughts, in your heart, and through living prophets. Come, hear the words God has for you.
Leave
the best show by far for 2025.
You don't leave out to watch Corn is the #1 comedy of 2025. And this weekend we head to Sapa in San Fernando on Saturday, October 4th at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday, October 5th at 6:30 p.m.
I never knew these plays were this good. I'm not missing another one.
Tickets available at the Sapa Box from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And at K-Squared Fashion, C3 Center, and Brentford Mall, Chagonas, as well as Friends of Marabella by the Roundabout. A play so funny, you can't watch it once.
Leave out to watch Corn.
Victor, why are you still living with bad odors? Instantly refresh your spaces with Febreze. Smell like leftover fried food? Instant freshness. Febreze, your home smelling fresh and clean. Find the limited edition at your favorite store or supermarket.
Blessing, blessing, blessing everyone. I am Apostle Dr. Benny King with my wife, Reverend Stella King, inviting you to join us every Wednesday at 5:30 a.m. and to 6 a.m. on CNC3, and expect a wonderful change experience as we pray for you and your family and your nation.
Yes, join us on Joy Prayer Network, because the Word of God says we should pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing, because your miracle is just around the corner.
22 moving up to the 8 o'clock hour. You know, I'm always transparent and very honest and open with the audience. So a couple of our guests, the poet and our musical guest, Sucre. I guess traffic and the unpredictability of the nation's roads. You know, we always say safe travel on the gravel, and right now they're actually on the gravel trying to make their way. So we'll have to obviously continue with our conversation. Once they're in before 8, we will indeed make the space. So I think it's appropriate, as always, to bring you in, get you back into the fold this morning. We could, again, open the lines, and while I stand by for the calls, I'm looking at some stories here on page 9, 2 that grab my attention. As a matter of fact, one on page 8 of today's Guardian and the other on page 9. The Minister of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries, Ravi Ratiram, I'm happy to hear what he's saying. He's making mention that agriculture to take center in the next budget. I would imagine Minister Ratiram is having conversations with Minister Tanku to ensure that agriculture is back on the main stage, front and center. We could talk all we want. We could talk all we want, but food is, to me, priority. And with that particular mindset, with that talking point at the top of mind right now, what's your budget expectation? Where do you really want to see the lion's share go? I mean, yes, we have seen in the years gone by health, education, national security, and especially the national security part. What's the return really on that investment? For us to feel safer, do you feel safe? Do you feel like, okay, we're getting somewhere? Granted, yes, 200 less murders right now compared to the same time last year, but do we just judge our crime stats based on murders alone? What about home invasions, you know, robbery, just petty crime too, grabbing, snatching, people grabbing phone, grabbing purse, sexual assault? I mean, all these things categorize crime. White collar crime that we don't hear about. I've always maintained, and I will continue to maintain, you see this here? While holding in my hand, this is more powerful than any firearm. The kind of money that a pen, just shifting in voice, doing all kind of backdoor deals via the pen, the damage that's able to cause, sometimes it is just as severe and even more severe than when people running with a gun. Yeah, I mean, there's cyber crime too. There's crime where people doing it via keyboard, very anonymous. So it's a multi-pronged kind of, you know, reality. And where, as far as you're concerned, when we consider the budget, clearly it's not going to happen Monday. So it's going to happen sometime later on in October. Where you want to see the lion's share? Where you want to see the vast, I guess, our resources, the monies in the coffers? Yes, the economists are saying that it's a kind of bleak time. It's not the greatest economic moment in our journey. But still, there must be a budget wish list. You must be keeping your eyes on the prize. Where do you feel right now if we put a particular injection, it could give us some length, some legs, some headway? You know, by all means. So let us know, right? Let us know. So we're going to treat with that when we open up. I want to touch base on, of course, yesterday I went to attend the funeral and to say farewell to one of my colleagues, Sterling Henderson. Obviously, when I was working in another place, we would have had many interaction. He will be remembered for his steadfast approach and professionalism when it comes to radio journalism, but his voice, boy, you know, Sterling's voice, that was a voice, rich baritone, really like he reminded you of those long-time BBC kind of big voice announcers now, and you know, young guy, you know, early 50s, early 50s, and well-attended service yesterday. You know, I had to take a little moment to really pay that respect and to say farewell. Let's head to Rima. Good morning.
Hello, pleasant good morning, Jason.
Yes, Rima. Morning.
I am commenting on the budget. I think a budget shouldn't only consider for the year that's ahead, in the sense that we need to, as a nation, be told, here's what, this is the progression we're hoping for. Because we have to think about the social, it's a holistic approach we have to have. In the protective services, yes, we might give a lot more to the police, but the prisons also have to be supplied, or fire services. We are seeing this continued deterioration over the years, and do all those parts play a part in making us feel safe. But we also need to have this patriotic way, in the sense that we need to be singing songs. When I say singing, I mean actual singing, but the repetition about patriotism and how it is shown in your actions, in what you, yes, you talk about rubbish, but you need to have it tagged to a particular theme. Patriotism, this is how it shows up. If it is you don't like crime and you don't like unfairness, don't do unfairness. If you talk about people, you don't like stealing, do not take the people paperclip and make copies in the office and those simple things, because we contributing to that. Yeah. The same thing with corruption. If you steal, you to get a service, you have to pass money under the table. We're encouraging it. So we as each individual have to recognize and be told, because if we get the psychologists, the teachers, whoever have to contribute to be able to put out these kind of messages when we trying to encourage people to take a look at yourself. What you don't like, take a look at yourself. What are you contributing to it?
Be the change you want to see, ultimately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, we use these themes, be the change you want to see, but people hearing it don't resonate deep within them until, just like children, you need to break it down.
Yeah, well said.
And we have to have a way of showing it visually, because everybody learns differently. Yeah. Visually, what does it look like? Because you look at the people who are in business, corporate people and whatnot, they have a vision board. They have the vision being shown and put through to their employees.
And the stakeholders and the investors, you know, short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. I understand. Yeah, well said.
Right. But you have to break it down for every citizen in the country.
It's almost like what you're suggesting, Arima, as we wrap things up, is to run the country like a business. You look at it from a profitability standpoint. You project what we're going to do so we can make money and turn things around. So I understand what you're saying, Arima. Well done.
And what through discipline, tolerance, and production. That's
we have
production.
Well, we have the tolerance, we have the production. Is the disciplinary that we're working on still? We're working on that discipline, trust me. But Rima, thank you. You know, very, very important and potent talking points. Let's head to San Fernando. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Jace.
Welcome.
I live in San Fernando, but I make a few trips sometime in Port of Spain, like once every 2 weeks. And what happened, Jason, when I saw some photos in Port of Spain, I could not believe what I am looking at. The photos are just ridiculous in what what is the city of Port of Spain. I mean, if the authorities is seeing a pothole from a little pothole, you make that pothole get so big. If a man's car go wrong in that, his whole front end will get damaged.
Yeah.
And that is in the city of Port of Spain. Same thing happening in San Fernando. There are little small things, holes, but then they get it's no longer pot. It's not pothole again, Jason. These things ridiculous that what's happening in this place. You telling me you don't have some kind of some asphalt somewhere you could get one little pickup and pass and just try and do a patchwork until, oh God, man. This thing's sickening. And let me talk about going up Princeton and things. The whole road, Vancouver, whole road collapsed. One side of the lake collapsed. I mean, it's ridiculous how things could deteriorate to such an extent. Look, so Solomon Hocha Highway, about 3 years, they're trying to repair landslip on Solomon Hocha Highway. About 3 years ago. Things should not go so bad. Once you see something happening, Jason, deal with it. It won't get big. Same thing about Ukraine.
Yeah. Well said, Sando. Well said. Thanks a lot. We have some poetry coming up, but before we head to the spoken word segment, I want to take one more, and we stay in the Southland. Faisal is on the line. Is this Faisal?
Good morning, Brother Jason.
Faisal, I want to know if you went on vacation. I hear from you for a long time.
I went out there a little bit. I went out by Rubio Country.
All right. I know you was outside. I figured you was outside for a bit. Welcome back, Faisal.
Yeah, thanks, man. So, Jason is 6 months into this government's tenure, yes? Is that correct?
Yes.
And so I am heartened to know that the Prime Minister would have been able to get the Dragon Gas deal back on the table. It's showing that the Trump administration is kind of favoring this government for whatever reason it might be, maybe the Southcom or what have you, the facilitation of the Southcom, and the support that the Prime Minister is giving to the American government. Jason, what I want people to recognize and realize is that the American is the greatest trading partner that we have in terms of dollars and cents. They are one of our greatest allies, so should we be, unduly attacked or provoked, I think we can count on them for some form of defense. Not I am suggesting that that should ever happen. So I'm saying, I would wait and hear what the Prime Minister has to say based on her trip with her team abroad, and then I might be able to clearly comment fairly. Yes?
All right, Faisal.
There's a lot of speculation in the air, so let's give it a little time, my brother. But I still want to keep URP and CPEP on the front burner so that we have it going as soon as possible. You're coming down to the bazaar in Erin Sunday?
Oh, you mean I'll be there? You're going to be there?
But your uncle invite me, boy, red man with the big van.
Uncle Dave? Well, all right. Well, Faisal, I'll see you.
Yeah, I'm a real bro. What time you going to be down there?
After lunch, for sure. After lunch.
Yeah. Good, man. Looking out to meeting you.
I Faisal, yeah, man. For sure. You know Uncle Dave, man. Yes, good morning to Uncle Dave, Auntie Annie, all my family and friends and cousins there in Erin. See you on Sunday. Up next, Ethan Felix, Poets Corner. Yes. What a piece. I can't wait to hear it, The man bring a kind of comparison between Trinidad and Haiti. I can't wait. Ethan, he's up next.
Food basket, nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh produce and everything fantastic. For everyday low price, things real nice. Come in once, but to come back twice. Wholesale, retail, everything for you. Rima, Shagwana, Shafle, go view. Food basket, the nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh produce and everything fantastic. Food basket. Marketplace Chanfleur, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right. Let the divine lights of the deals bring victory over darkness into your life. Happy Diwali to all. A message from Kaleidoscope Paints Limited.
In the ever-changing media landscape, we at Guardian Media strive always to put you
our viewers and readers first.
We strive to uphold the time-honored tenets of responsible journalism.
For us, accuracy is key.
And in our reporting, we strive not only to be first, but fair,
impartial,
and to uphold journalistic integrity.
Above all, we are accountable to you, and we must respect the views of our audience. That is our solemn contract with you.
Keen attention to detail.
Rigorous verification of facts.
Use of credible sources and sound editorial judgment.
Keep track of our editorial policies and guidelines, including our corrections policy, by logging on to www.guardian.co.tt for more.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
Get the story first. Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today.
Really happy to have Ethan Felix with me on the program for the Poets Corner. So Ethan will obviously take us up to 8 o'clock with his piece, youth man from the East Arima side, and he's coming with a very, when I saw the name of the piece, and Trinidad and Haiti, and I did a lot of research on Haiti for school, my SBA was on Haiti, so their history and what they would have done and the lack of recognition that they get, to me, is alarming. And you see where Haiti is today, and you question how it could even be like this. But that's a different conversation, I guess, for a different day. Great to have you, Ethan. Glad you made it in one piece, my brother.
Eventually.
Yeah. You made it, man. It's all good. So let me find out. What was the? Give me the concept. At what point you decided to do this piece? What's the name of the piece exactly?
Okay, so the name of the piece is CNC3, which is the Trinity is Haiti in Haitian Creole or French, technically, but which means Trinidad is Haiti. Essentially, I was on my way back from school, and I was looking at the floor and then thinking of the things we'd studied on Haiti in French and in Caribbean studies, and I realized a lot of their history and ours is so linked, being a powerful Caribbean nation that through one sense or another has been, parts of it have been ruined, parts of it have been damaged.
Derailed, as it were.
It was something that I felt very passionate about, and I wanted to write about it.
Well, I want to hear the piece, so the floor is yours. Take it away, and we come back and we touch base.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
The Pearl of the Antilles and the Trinity. How beautiful they both are. I think they have both been pillaged and left to starve. They both have the history to prove it, don't they? But the two girls have dealt with it in their own way. Trinité, c'est Haïti. The pearl. Oh, the pearl. How beautiful it shines. I've seen the Trinity and all of her wonderful sights. I decided to self-educate on their histories to understand their current state, and I've realized that the pearl must be the Trinity's mate, because the destruction and devastation and degradation and molestation is everywhere.
The pearl has lost her luster. The Trinity struggles to shine. But they have the same type of hair. The Trinity taught me well. But it's the same colonization that ties up my head and leaves my tongue dry thinking how I think it should be said. So, I want you to use both of your ears and hear what it is I say in though. Trinité, c'est Haïti. C'est ton pour parler en mes langages avec ma langue, no? It's not like I'm talking for you to understand me, though. Trinité, c'est Haïti, and I'm saying it loud, from the people in the high-rise to the vagrants on the ground. Trinité, c'est Haïti. How we could hate each other when we're neighbors in the same village is the same type of beautiful land that the Europeans came to pillage. We say, oh, it's voodoo that have them so. How it is some neg mawan pou vayu le même po. So, one day, I hope to visit this land. And when my feet are in the sand, I hope finally I can understand why I think Trinité, c'est Haïti.
Wow, let me tell you. Let me tell you, I love it. I love it because, I mean, clearly you are, via your words, you know, giving us a chance to just think outside the box and to understand that don't feel for one day where Haiti is today, and unfortunately they're in a really bad place. I mean, we see Port-au-Prince and what goes on there. I mean, there are other parts where it's not as terrible, but clearly...
the gang violence?
Yes. So we can't feel for one day that if we continue with this particular step and there is no pulling back, as it were, we can end up in that kind of shambles. So I want to thank you for bringing the peace. How can folks keep in touch with you? How can they, you know, if you put your work online, do you put your stuff out there?
I put some of my things online. You can find me on Lucky Felix on Instagram. It's Lucky __ Felix on Instagram. Although most of the time I just post random things that happen to me on there. I'm trying to be more active. But if you really want to see me, I perform in plays and I'm just looking around for different experiences. I probably should be better about saying what I'm doing, but that will come, that will come.
You're creative, Ethan, and that's what it is, and that's what you subscribe to, and trust me, just keep creating, bro. Great to have you.
Thank you.
Pleasure. You do the French nights? We did French in school or something? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still doing French in university.
Clearly. Look at bro, you have it clean. I said this man from Haiti.
Merci.
Yeah, I said this man from Haiti or something. What's going on? You know, it was so nice, really amazing. Thanks for being here with us, Ethan. With that, we pull the curtains down. It's been a great week. God spare I'm back for more next week, Monday, right here. Morning Brew on CNC3, and we've been here for 20 years and we're going strong. Last week, Friday, we had our anniversary, so it's 20 years and a week, CNC3. Kudos to the entire team. Have a great weekend, TNT. God bless.
The Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
You're watching CNC3. The views and opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of CNC3.
Your gut is a vibrant ecosystem, working day and night to keep you healthy. It digests